What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. I am David, and I'm joined by Robin, and today we are talking about a massive win for Ripple and XRP and their community. So if you're an XRP fan, hit the like button, let us know in the comments. Let's not waste any time and get right into it. Ripple scores a huge win. It's a source from multiple different news sources. The SEC has been denied a motion to conceal former director William Hinman's speech drafts. Judge Netburn said the SEC was acting immoral in its bid to keep the speech drafts out of court. Now, one key thing to keep in mind, the SEC could get an additional 2 or 3 months to delay producing these documents. So if we know anything about Gary Gensler and the SEC, they're going to drag this out as much as they can. The writing is on the wall, in my opinion. Now, I decided to dig up Director Hinman's speech. And here are some interesting things that I took away that he said. So this is all directly quoted from him. First thing is, digital assets can represent an efficient way to reach a global audience where initial purchasers have a stake in the success of the network and become part of a network where their participation adds value beyond their investment contributions. If the network on which the token or coin is to function is sufficiently decentralized, where purchasers will no longer reasonably expect a person or group to carry out essential managerial or entrepreneurial efforts, the assets may not represent an investment contract. He also went on to say, this is what everyone is hanging their hats on here. The Ethereum network and its decentralized structure, current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions. This is not edited. This is not taken out of context. This is literally what Director Hinman said. And then finally, I recognize that the Supreme Court has acknowledged that if someone is purchasing an asset for consumption only, it is likely not a security. This is from the Supreme Court, the highest level of law in the United States. So, Robin, with all that being said, first of all, huge win for Ripple, yes?
Hell yeah. Man, first of all, absolutely. Out of all the small victories that have been gained on either side of this court case, this is, my opinion, the largest victory in the court case, and it goes to Ripple Labs' side. And we are reaching the end of the court case. There's only so much more time this could be drug out. I wouldn't expect a resolution within the next few weeks or even months. It does look like it's still on track to end early next year. Perhaps in February or March would be a realistic expectation. But as you mentioned here in the beginning of this video, that the SEC could delay said court case by 2 to 3 months because of these findings. Now,
well, here's the thing also, Robin. They could also appeal it again to a separate court or file another motion, which this is the second time the judge has denied them.
Yeah. And that's just standard for any court case. It's within your bounds or rights to appeal any court decision unless it's with the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court. So with that said, I would expect it's probably normal procedure, especially with the SEC, to file to go against the ruling. But let's take into account here what this means. You basically have the former head of the SEC coming out and saying Ethereum was decentralized. That is the headline sentence, right? However, if you digest what the man said, which I'm sure the lawyers will do, he's basically stating that if a token here, in this case, cryptocurrency token like Ethereum or XRP in this situation that's going to be applied to this court case, if it can be used as a form of utility and not simply as an investment contract, then it is no longer a security, right? In the same way that you can compare the stock of Tesla to saying, hey, I can buy and hold Tesla, but you know what? It doesn't charge my car. It is only good off of as an investment contract and as far as when I enter and exit. Now, the difference here with cryptocurrency is that you can use these cryptocurrencies in a real world ecosystem. You can use it to power smart contracts. You can use it as gas fee. And so no longer are you in a situation where you have the initial ICO come out and the said token doesn't do anything. Here, you're paying for gas. You're using it to process transactions. You're using it as the backbone of NFTs and smart contracts.
And you can't use your Tesla stock, which is a security, to do anything, right?
Yeah.
And here's an example.
That is by definition a security. Is that it's simply an investment contract and no more. And you can look at gold as an example. You can invest in it if you choose. You can invest in crypto if you choose. However, there is utility and there's a real world cases that the globe uses gold. You use it in electronics. You use it in jewelry. You use it as a store of value. You can use it as an investment. And so to simply say,
so because gold is a security?
No, gold is a commodity. That's what I'm saying.
So here's another good example. When you buy a home, right? Are you living in your home? Yes. Are you expecting the price of your home to go up in value? Yes. Can you at any point sell your home and make money? Yes. Can you withdraw money out of your home against your mortgage? Yes, you can. So are houses now a security? No, they're not. And that is where the SEC is messing up, in my opinion. Is they're trying to bundle everyone into saying everyone who participated in ICO or buys tokens only buys it as an investment contract. I can buy Ethereum because I'm in the ecosystem and I buy and mint NFTs, but I can also hold it and expect the value to go up, just like a home, just like gold. So should everything be a security? And this is where the SEC is at fault. So those are my thoughts on that.
Looking at the speech, so there's several meters or several directions that need to be crossed. One, you have decentralization. And so when you reach a certain amount of decentralization, there's no company there that is essentially for profit, would be an example. The second would be this utility. And so with the utility, you have, as we described. So basically, when you go to the one end of the spectrum versus the other, you're no longer a security. So the problem here is that when you launch a token, you can make the argument that it's a security. It doesn't do anything, and there's a company that launched it, right? So at that moment, at its inception, you can even make the same argument about Bitcoin. You had Satoshi. You had him issue out tokens. And it wasn't decentralized at its first come up. But as time goes on, as you reach decentralization, as you have utility, then you go away from the security, you become a commodity. That is the case that's being made here. And this is the solid evidence that the former head of the SEC, that's what he said. That's literally the protocol. And so XRP is that. XRP token can be used to facilitate its payments, its ecosystem. It's the power behind it.
So are you saying that,
and it's decentralized?
Are you saying it's fair that with every new token launch, every new crypto project, it should be labeled as a security, and then as it grows into an ecosystem, it should be moved into the commodity?
I don't know how it would fit into a regulatory body. I don't know how you would do that. But the argument you can't make is that these established projects that take their foot off the gas, and it has a DAO and stake pool operators, and it is more than just a speculative asset, those are not securities. And so at what point does it switch? Or maybe it's never listed as a security in the first place, and maybe it's a crypto asset that fits in a different regulatory basket. But right now, the projects that are here that have real world use cases that are partnered with major companies like Disney and ESPN and NFL and these companies that partnered with these blockchains, those big guys, those are not securities anymore. And maybe, you can make a case for certain ones being securities. I don't know what point it transitions. And I think that's what we need to figure out. But the thing is the big boys, the Ripple Labs, they're not securities. Not no longer. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But right now, they're not that.
So I want to I want to go back to this, and I want to highlight the very last thing Hinman said. I recognize that the Supreme Court has acknowledged that if someone is purchasing an asset for consumption only, it is likely not a security. How do you prove that when I bought XRP tokens, I wasn't expecting utility to come out and I was just holding it to use it in the ecosystem? Where do you draw the line? Where would you draw the line? Because the SEC, they're not drawing any lines. They're making up their own lines and throwing them where they see fit. There's no solid line that says if you cross this line, you are a security. And they're trying to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, which is exactly what they did to Ripple. And this is not just some lawyer. This is not a company. This is the Supreme Court of the United States of America. Where do you draw the line, SEC? Do you think they'll ever draw a line?
I don't know. The line will get drawn around them when they're told to leave them alone. Seriously. Here's the thing. They are a branch of government, but at the same time, they need to collect revenue. Same way that the police station in your town is a branch of government or part of the city municipality. My words aren't very, very strong. But I will say that you have to pull people over, give them speeding tickets. You have to pay fines, parking tickets to fund said projects. They fund the police. The same is said here when it comes to the SEC. SEC has made billions and billions of dollars by fining large companies. Before the rise of crypto, it was big fines, and there was no shortage of them to all these tech companies and hedge funds, and just normal practice for them. They see a new revenue stream come in. They see cryptocurrency, and they trying to make a dollar. That's what they're doing, man. That's what they do. That's what they've always done. And that's what they will continue to do until they're put into a box and saying, hey, no grounds here. And this is what this court case is amounting to. You know, it's precedents to stop this crap in the future, or at least stop the ICO token security issue, because that's really what it is. It's not about the technology. It's not about, it's the SEC saying ICOs are sale of security. XRP wins this. Ripple Labs wins this. That whole narrative out the window.
And just to wrap this video up, if you're rooting, if you're in the crypto space and you're rooting against XRP, shame on you. This win, what Ripple is doing and the amount of money they've spent to fight the SEC, they've been offered a settlement and they said no. They could have taken the settlement. They could have offered settlement themselves.
It's
not
speculative that they said no, and that they got offered.
Well, it's
foregone conclusion.
It's known, not, okay. So we'll say it's speculatively they've turned down a settlement. They didn't have to spend all this money and fight the SEC. They could have laid down, paid a fine, done whatever they had to do, but they didn't do that. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars, not just for Ripple, not just for XRP, but for the crypto community, the crypto space as a whole. So we should all, whether you love or hate XRP, we should all be rooting for Ripple to win. Because as Robin mentioned, this will set the precedence for lawsuits for crypto companies and blockchain projects and ICOs moving forward. When another project or another company gets sued by the SEC on the same grounds, and after Ripple wins this lawsuit, the next judge is going to look at this court case and say, it's pretty cut and dry, man. We don't need to drag this out 2-3 years in court. And so we should all be rooting for Ripple. We all believe here at Sin City Crypto that Ripple will come out on top, which if you don't understand how important that is or how impressive that is, the SEC, I don't want to say never, but they pretty much never lose lawsuits. And so this is going to be huge. When this happens, expect the XRP token to skyrocket. And in my opinion, this could be something big enough to spark a massive, maybe not the bull market, but at least a massive bull rally.
We'll say one last thing, man. I'll end with this. Same time this Ethereum kind of debate was going out and the XRP debate was going out, it was SEC could have went after either Ethereum or XRP or Ripple Labs. They chose to go after Ripple Labs. And rumors out there that the SEC was buddy-buddy with the lead developers for Ethereum, that they had a private interest in protecting Ethereum and not so much XRP.
Well, guess what? When they lose this lawsuit, the entire crypto space will be protected. All right, that'll do it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the content. Make sure to come join us Monday through Friday for our live show at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. On behalf of myself and Robin, thank you guys so much. We love you. Make sure to like the video and subscribe on your way out. We'll see you next time. Peace.